Good morning, everyone. It's 20th March 2017, and welcome to another episode of ProAMT Traders Digest. Let me go through the disclaimer first. Trading in stocks derivatives involves substantial risk of loss and not suitable for all investors. Past or simulated performance is not a guarantee of future results. All indicators, strategies shown in the video are for education purpose only. All levels discussed in this video are for understanding the study and not a recommendation to trade. Please consult your personal financial advisor before making any trade decision based on this video. We will not be responsible for any resulting profits or losses. So we ended a very eventful week with the UP election results leading to a gap above the lifetime high, and uh, we have closed at lifetime closing high levels. So a very bullish week for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. So let's have a look at the micro composite levels first. So here uh, it has created a upper balance on 14th and 15th, and the balance high is 9121 and the balance low is 9096. So that's the sort of value we would be looking at in any dips coming in this week. And overall we are in a uncharted territory. So uh, apart from that 8231, which is the 61.8% extension, Fibonacci extension of the current leg, then a retrace and then extend. So apart from that, won't be a good idea to think of other levels based on profile, because we'll have market generated information is lower and we are seeking further information. The monthly VWAP is at 9017, and we have this nice balance on volume as well, and we have this gap as a reference. So um, we have two gaps as a reference. So first the mid of this gap, and then we'll see how it behaves when it reaches into this value area. So might happen that it comes here to check and then again start its move higher. So it will be too early to guess all that, but just like this is how it's looking on the micro composite chart, and that's all we wanted to do with this chart. Now let's also see how the Bank Nifty micro composite is looking. So here we have a kind of double distribution balance, because there is a breakout from this trading range, and then a consolidation higher, and finally a gap up. So this was getting protected. This VH was getting protected. Now it came within, and now that is it is facing resistance at that VH 21265. So that will be an important point, and 21160 would be important point to note. The VWAP is right below at 2895. So that's also an important reference, and the uppermost balance, the recent uppermost balance starts at before this gap, before this election gap, that starts at 20925, and the VL is 2827. So that is the level to watch in any dips if they come. Now let's have a look at the sectors as well. It was a shortened trading week, 4 days of trade. Uh, FMCG blasted like FMCG was first weakening, then it started lagging, and then now has uh, already broken out. Now, intra-week high of around 5.5%, and then closing the week at plus 3.86. Most of the indices are positive, apart from media, PSU banks, and energy, which are like energy is the biggest loser with minus 1.31 weekly closing from the open of the week. So I would be looking at how FMCG and metal behave, because if there is a selling opportunity, metal has been like metal had gone 8% down again. It has reached the mean, so would be interesting to watch metals and FMCG as well. If they are continuing the momentum, we do not need to sell them. Instead, in within that sector, what I'll try to do is buy one stock and sell one. So buy the weakest, because by the time the sector completes the rotation, the weakest will also start rallying. So now suppose ITC has already rallied. Now the lagging or the weakest will also rally before the rotation gets over. That is how it generally happens. Now let's also see the weekly projected levels. Last week, the open was directly above the projected high, and 9231, which was also the level to watch out due to this third resistance on weekly projected levels. So we didn't quite reach there. We have a nice looking doji, and traded between the resistance 1 and resistance 2. This week we have 9275 as projected high and 9060 as projected low. And the CCI is trading at like 168. It's in a trending mode on weekly. On the daily, the CCI is now getting tired. It trended, tried to push higher, and now it's getting tired here. So we need to see the range is shrinking, the daily range is shrinking, so we might get a volatility spike, and then we might get a bit of a correction to fill this gap. Now let's also have a look at bank nifty levels. So Bank Nifty had gone above. So again, the same thing. Open was above the weekly projected high, and it had gone above the resistance 3 in a spike that was a freak trade, and finally settled down below resistance 1. So now we have a projected high at 21569 and a projected low at 20905. Similarly, here also the weekly range is contracting a bit. Let's also and the CCI is again same thing in a trending mode. Let's see on the daily what it is doing. Again, almost the same. CCI getting tired, and we have um, the daily range contracting. So now let's have a look at what Nifty did on Friday. So open high outside of the range and open drive down. It drove down, tried to go into the mid of the opening bar, and then C period breaks down and breaks the A period low. When this is broken, coming into the settle in the C period itself, and then slowly building value. That means the chance of the late afternoon rally are gone once this value starts building earlier. C and D pull lower so they can pull the value down. If you can see, this has already, the point of control had shifted in E period here. So that's a sign that the auction is accepting previous day's prices and doesn't have any interest to go higher. Finally, we get a spike down into the point of control of previous day. So a level to watch again. Need to see what happens when it trades there, either today or tomorrow or whenever. Huge volume coming in into this spike bar. So last half an hour, huge volume was traded. Now let's have a look at the 3 minutes. So we have this pullback into the day mid and then start falling. Create a balance, break down from that balance, again create a big balance. Break out of that balance and go fall short of day mid and then start coming down. There was a thrust up again and this found like a lot of sellers, and finally that uh, huge down move, like in current scenario, this is like a huge move because the market is not moving post the open, and goes into the previous day's point of control. Now that's not a good sign actually. So need to see how it manages to stay there, or does it want to stay higher, or does it want to accept the lower prices. Now on the 15 minute, we have this entire move was getting absorbed, but finally the selling pressure started building up when it tried another attempt towards the day mid. So overall, the delta, which was like positive, is almost like neutralized with this. Not still, the inventory has been long. So the first initial, suppose if we get any correction, that would be just a profit booking. So not a invitation that it will directly start like falling huge. And there we need to see the development, how it develops. Now coming to the Renko, a nice opening swing, and we get let me do this. Yes. So a nice opening swing, and we get a break of that opening swing low, and then we never look back there. So this breaks, impulse, pull back. Now the second impulse is not created, goes into a zipper but does not cross and carries its move forward. Now this we might think that this might turn out to be an impulse because it has crossed this zipper, but falls back, tests the low, and then a very zigzag move higher. So a tough move to trade here, apart from this sell or this sell opportunity. Now let's have a look at what we can expect for today. So if we open somewhere into this thick zone, or maybe open into this thick zone, so that is the likely scenario. So between 60 to it's a tight range. So open somewhere here, try to push higher, fail, and start making its move down and test the so this is the gap zone. I would mark the clean gap zone from that day. So test somewhere in the mid, and then again try its move higher. So that can be one scenario. Another scenario is that it continues to move down, goes in below the weekly and monthly, goes below the weekly VWAP, and then tries to even push through the weekly VWAP and go into this point of control, which is actually a big balance. So try to go into that. That is one of the scenarios. If it doesn't bounce back off the lows, Otherwise, might continue the trend higher, push above the mid, come and take support, go higher, and test these sellers first. If it fails there, then start pushing down and carry on with this half of the move, or if it can happen fully. Else, take support here and make its way towards that 231, and then we'll need to see where it can go. Now let's have a look at Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty, we have a huge spike coming in and then almost a tight balance. So after that spike breaks down, pushes through the point of control, tries to compress below, and we get a failure here again inside, and then balances entire day into this range between. So the high was not able to push into the first hour lows, and the balance completely established, centered with 15th March balance. So overall, we are like we are making a kind of a balance zone here completely, and then we'll need to see what happens further. Now on the 3 minute, so post that spike, we have a consolidation, a breakdown, then again a big consolidation, breaks from that, starts pushing higher, and so that consolidation is broken and then goes in an up, channeled up move, again a channel down move, and then again a wild spike coming in. So this move was very nice, and this move was nice. Apart from that, a bit of a tight and confusing move to with a trade perspective to enter and exit. Now on the 15 minute, there was like selling coming in. There was follow up selling coming in, and finally got absorbed here. So see here, this is like what I've done is calculated delta plus momentum into this, and this is like simple just delta per bar. So here it was going negative negative, and all of a sudden turns positive, but within that, uh, the absorption had already started, then again goes higher. Now see here, it is showing buy buy buy, and then all of a sudden sell comes here. We already know that it was going into that sell mode, and finally we get a stopping volume at the end. Stopping volume in the sense, because it dipped down all of a sudden and it's again into a known reference. Now let's have a look at the Renko chart. Oh, this Renko has spoiled this. So obviously this is not an impulse. It started here. Impulse, pullback. Impulse does not materialize, but still gives a pullback and then a impulse. So almost the move might be done, then gets messy, and finally see how it plays into this 161.8 retracement. So a very, very methodical move from the volume based point of control, going into that, rejecting, and then finally making its way down, and that was also the 38.2% retracement, so it was not able to hold on to that. uh, that became a resistance, so when it touched there, it instantly fell back down. Then again, from the bottom, we get an impulse, pullback, impulse, and it's almost like done. So now let's see what we can expect for today. So I'm deleting this because don't need to now keep this fib levels. So if we open somewhere into this thick zone, or if we open into this thick zone, so this becomes this due to this. So what we have to now look for is this opens, because it has become weak, try pushing lower, get into, because see there is nothing here, so get into this zone. And if it seeks sellers here or seeks buyers here, then continue and come back into this range. If comes back into the range and pushes through this, then take support here, because there is the LVN there, and then pushes into this area of that pullback high and breaks above that. So that can be the likely scenario on the upside. And on the other side, if it opens and tries to push up, fails here, or fails outside of this, then carry its move down with this move. So that was all for today, and we'll catch you during the day, and have a nice and profitable, obviously a profitable trading day ahead.